Iraqi Dinar Guru Opinions, the 6th of January 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. The 6th of January 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26, Iraq Boots on the Ground Report, Firefly. Mr. Sammy says everything is in place in his eyes. The only thing Mr. Sammy thinks we need is for Iraq to reveal a new rate to show and back the stability of the dinar as a new global currency. Frank. Yes sir Mr. Sammy, because that's what the contractors are waiting for. The 6th of January 2025 Newshound Guru Jeff, the auctions have completely turned to normal. Absolutely nothing has changed. Everything has returned and restored back to normal. Even though the auctions are normal, the significant step in this is the auctions are remaining at elevated numbers because what they're doing is Iraq is emptying their coffers and getting rid of the US dollar, preparing to revalue. That's the critical piece of this, but for your own knowledge and information, the auctions have absolutely returned to normal. The 6th of January 2025 Intel Guru Mark Z, via PDK, article. Within a week, Iraq surpasses Saudi Arabia by exporting 212,000 barrels per day to America, more than twice as much as Saudi Arabia. This is huge. The 6th of January 2025 Newshound Guru Harlequin 3, on January 1st, the auctions stopped and became foreign reinforcements. The CBI is not selling money to the banks anymore. The banks must go get their money from other banks outside the country, currency swaps, which is the essence of Forex. All the CBI is doing is watching this now, making sure it's legit. Eventually, the dinar will float in this basket, and Forex will look like a heartbeat. But all that goes to say the auctions have stopped. What you are seeing is foreign currency reinforcements, not an auction. The CBI has nothing to do with this money. It's between the two correspondent banks, and CBI is only auditing the transaction. Without the auctions, there is nothing manipulating and propping up the 1320 rate. So, what are they going to do? Raise the value. The 5th of January 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26 The evolution, the ebb and flow of the emotion of Iraq with the citizens concerning this monetary reform has been one moment high, one moment low, one moment high, one moment low. I'm here to tell you it evolved to nothing but high. The citizens of Iraq are so well educated and they know who the enemy is in the same way here in the United States of America. The 5th of January 2025 Newshound Guru Militiaman, to be a global economic powers, Iraq's exchange rate will need to be far different than 1310. It's just the way it's going to be. They haven't done anything yet. They're hiding things when it comes to that. The 5th of January 2025 Newshound Guru Jeff, the currency auctions prior to the beginning of November were averaging around $250 million daily. Since November, they've remained elevated about $280 to $300 million daily. They're emptying their coffers of the US dollar, prepping to revalue. The 5th of January 2025 Intel Guru Mark Z, via PDK, comment. They are supposed to certify the election and Trump is president on Monday. That could be big. Mark Z. Seems like a lot is scheduled to start on the 7th after the certifications on the 6th. Maybe it's a coincidence and maybe it's not. The 5th of January 2025 Newshound Guru Samson article, between the American hammer and the Iranian anvil. Iraq reshapes its future, quote. With conflicting reports about Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani's visit to Iran. The 5th of January 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26 Emo, the 6th going into the 7th will be very interesting for the monetary reform. The 5th of January 2025 Newshound Guru Claire article. Al-Sudani receives a special message from Trump. Syria, Iran and the factions, quote. The source told Shafaq news agency that al-Sudani received a message from Donald Trump through a special envoy on an unannounced visit, which included several axes. The source pointed out that the most prominent axes are the necessity of containing and controlling weapons outside the framework of the state, stopping the activity of factions linked to Iran. Meanwhile, a government source. Iraq is working diligently to establish security in the region, and that the Prime Minister will present Iraq's vision in this regard during a visit to Iran. The 5th of January 2025 Newshound Guru Militiaman article. Monetary stabilization mechanism will maintain financial stability in the country. What is that going to be? It's the reinforcement mechanism, it's the new one. It's not the old dollar auction. They're still going to use the dollar and many different foreign currencies. Realize, when Iraq turns their currency on to go international, Iraq is going to be a foreign currency that will be traded on international markets. So when they talk about foreign currencies, think about Iraq being one of them. So when they talk about a basket of currencies, Iraq is going to be one of them within it. The 5th of January 2025 Newshound, Intel Guru FNULNU Mark as well as many others seem to be confused by the actions of the CBI. The auction currency window is indeed closed. The reported sales of 1 billion in 4 days is not being done at auction. That was turned over to the banks, which is why they were enabled with international currency exchange platforms. This way, monitoring of all exchange functions is done in real time and not centralized. Scrutiny of participants in exchanges are likewise monitored and vetted in real time. No more fraudulent exchanges for smuggling purposes. The 5th of January 2025 Intel Guru Frank 26, Iraq Boots on the Ground Report, Firefly. Mr. Sammy just left my place. He told me, I want you to understand that what we are seeing on TV right now about bringing in the notes. It's like a clean sweep to get the old notes out, the damaged notes back and the counterfeit notes off the street before the rate hits. This will allow all these notes collected to get into the electronic system. Mr. Sammy says we are officially Category A currency now. It was Category C which was less desirable. That was required also for the WTO introduction. All these smaller exchange companies that have recently been licensed are now being linked to the big boy exchange companies. That all leads to something big is coming. Frank. Yes, something big is coming. The 5th of January 2025 Newshound Guru Jeff. A fair amount of people think the auctions have ended. This article right here will crush and destroy that theory. Article. The central bank sells more than $1 billion in just 4 days. This article is very clear. The only changes that have occurred regarding the auctions is they're no longer having or holding cash withdrawal inside the country of Iraq. They're still auctioning off currency abroad to overseas banks, and they may have transitioned to a new financial system. Regardless, the important step in this is that the banking reforms are now getting implemented. That's a critical step to this. The 5th of January 2025 Intel Guru Mark Z. Via PDK. Article. Government Advisor. The growth rate of non-oil GDP during 2024 is unprecedented. It's great to see non-oil revenues skyrocketing. This will help support the value of the dinar. The 5th of January 2025 Newshound, Intel Guru MNT Goat article. With the beginning of the new year, the US dollar enters a new phase in Iraq. Wow, this says it all. Yes, Iraq has now moved to normal ways of doing business with the outside world. Iraq had stayed on the currency auctions with the CBI supplying the dollars way too long, 20 years. This was never Dr. Shabibi's plan, but they were forced to due to the newer Obama plan of paying off the war reparations first then moving ahead with the currency reforms, which we have now witnessed aggressive movements in this direction since the beginning of 2023. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: IraqiDinarChat.net